Good day, myself, Graham.
Skazius.
Welcome to episode 288 of the Rand Nerds podcast.
288, that's the one about the beavers, isn't it?
Well, no, you see, now here's what I've done. I looked at, the beavers are coming. The beavers are coming. Not in that way. And I decided, saw my next couple of weeks ahead. I thought, I'm a bit tight for time, quite a bit of stuff on. I'm not going to be able to play much time, but I have got an Easter weekend coming up, which means I can dedicate lots of hours to beavers.
Easter beavers.
Right. So I've decided all good things come to those who wait. So like an Easter egg, I'm holding the beavers off until Easter weekend, and I've basically going to try and get everything sorted out. So I've got nothing else to worry about apart from beavers. I'm just going to beaver for the whole weekend. Plus do a bit of gardening as well, but mainly beavers.
Right. Okay. That's actually probably a good thing because I was planning on playing Timberborn. And I didn't get a chance.
Oh, bless you.
It's like, I'm going to play. That's what was my plan. That was my plan yesterday and today. I was like, I'm going to play me some Timberborn. And it's like, oh, everyone else wants to do stuff.
Oh, once again, that means I'm bottom of the pile.
Sadness.
You are the lowest level of the stack list. You know, all the other processes come way above you.
Mate, they all filter to the top, mate.
You're just like the lowest level, like operating system process at the bottom there, just sort of keeping everything else moving along.
Just you're not needed. Just sit there sharp and
yeah. You can't play until all the other processes have been forced quit.
I know. So sad. So sad.
Oh. So I guess you've not been up to anything then.
No. So sad.
Oh. I mean, I can tell you what I have been done. It's slightly different this week, what I've done. First time, nearly 3 years, I went and saw a film.
What?
Yes.
I thought this was gaming centric, but okay, film. Right.
It's film, it's fine. So there might be a game one day. Who never knows? Because Project Hail Mary released last week.
Right.
And you remember I talked about the book. I think it was with you on the podcast a few years ago. I talked about the book, and how and the film's coming out. The film's finally come out. I'm very excited. And now, the best bit. You can't see this, but I got a Project Mary helmet as well.
Okay.
Because Odeon did a thing where you could get a popcorn bucket and a helmet, and I didn't go to Odeon, but my parents were going to go see it. And I said, I really want a helmet. And
wait, so your parents went to get the cinema experience. Did you get the cinema experience?
Yes, I went to VU in Norwich.
Oh, okay.
So we get.
Wait,
discount.
do they not have an Odeon in?
There's an Odeon in Norwich, but we get discount through work at VU. So.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
So my ticket was like £8, which is not bad for a cinema ticket these days.
Sure.
So, but they were going to go to Odeon because they prefer Odeon. It's like, when you go, would you buy me a helmet? I thought I bet they'll be run out then, but no, they had the last one. So I've got my little helmet. I'm really excited.
Congratulations.
That's now sat on my shelf, and I'm buying some merch. There's a Lego model kit as well I'm going to buy.
Oh my! Ram has to really like something to have merch.
Yeah,
if Ram buys it, oh my god.
I've been, since the first trailer came out in August last year, I have just been looking forward to this for months. I've been like watching the trailers like sometimes multiple times a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes several times a day. Just anticipation as they release every little trailer, every little bit comes up and watching it again and again and again, watching it for the film, because I've listened to the audiobook multiple times. I've got a physical copy of the book, but I've never read the physical copy. I've got a copy. But as I mainly listen to the audiobook because I do it when I'm driving stuff. And I've just been obsessed with it. I've been so looking forward to it for probably years. When I first heard it was announced that it's going to have Ryan Gosling as the main character, I was a little bit dubious because I'd seen his other stuff, wasn't too pressed. But he's grown on me in other films since, and he really knocked out the park in this one. Really good. I suppose I better tell people what Project Hail Mary is if you don't know. Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian, also wrote Project Hail Mary. The general story is, and if you've seen the trailer for film, this is spoiled anyway. If you've not read the book, I'm going to spoil something that happens in about the first quarter of the book. But it's like the big thing that happens that then the rest of the film follows on from. So if you have somehow missed everything, and you haven't read the book and want it spoiler free, which I experienced as spoiler free, and it'd be great if you could,
listening.
Stop listening, basically. Stop listening, because I can't avoid talking about this, the film. So the basic storyline is this. This microbe, basically, they've discovered what they call the Petrova line, which is between our planets, like this infrared line. They're not sure what's causing it. They do some experiments. They send like a ship up and have it fly through, and they discover that there's this microbe that's suddenly infesting the sun. And basically what it's doing is living on the sun's surface, and it's like absorbing energy from the sun to live. The trouble is it's also breeding, and in doing so it's gradually starting to cover the sun over in itself, which means effectively it's going to dim the sun out, because as it breeds, it's going to dim it. And my dog decided this moment in time needs to go outside for a wee, so bear with me 1 second.
That's all right, mine's howling. Daniel, mate, calm down. She's not coming in, buddy.
I know it's cold, but I'm going to leave the back door open so he can come back in.
Just give me a minute, mate. Sorry, Charlie Spaniel's getting upset because my mum's not coming to the house. Hang on, 1 sec. Spaniel, mate, calm down. All right. You don't... She's not there, mate. Hang on, I'll show you. Don't run. See, she's not there. Not there. See?
The joys of dogs.
No, she's not there, buddy. Come on.
Mine's elderly. His just a spaniel. Spaniel's a pain incarnate.
She's not there, Governor. Come on.
Oh, bless him. Don't know how much as we picked up on the audio, but he's outside. He's lost.
Spaniel, no. Come on.
Spaniel's been rebellious by the sounds of it.
Gonna get your head stuck. You can't go under the gate. No. Oh my God. Bloody child. Go on. Go tell her.
Oh dear.
Let's get at least Annie about in.
Yeah. Where's my nanny? I miss my nanny.
It's always goddamn something.
Yeah. Right. I'm just freezing because I've had the back door open for the dog to get back in. It's really cold outside, so I'm freezing now. So yeah, they discovered the microphage. This they call it astrophage, literally star eater, and it's infesting the sun. So they need to fix it, and they don't really know how, because they have no idea what's gone on. But they start doing like looking around because they're trying to work out where it's come from. And looking all like the nearby stars, they can see that they've all dimmed based on historical records. They know it's gradually affected one. They find one star, Tau Ceti, which is about 12 light years away, which hasn't changed. And they don't know why, but they figure that's probably a good reason to find a good bet. There's some reason there why it hasn't changed. So they decide to build a spaceship. Luckily, astrophage they've discovered a way to breed it and make great. You can use it as a fuel. It's highly energy dense, so that it basically solves their own problem. So they decide to build a spaceship to fly to Tau Ceti to find out what's going on. And the main character is Grace. In the book and the film, he starts off in a coma, being woken up by the ship. And he wakes up. He doesn't know why he's there or how he's got there. And he has to try and figure out what's going on, how he's got there, and B, how to solve this problem. Not long after he reaches where Tau Ceti, where he is, and he's sort of looking around, he sees something in the distance, and it starts to approach him. And here's the spoiler: an alien ship arrives.
No way.
Yes. And if in the book it takes a long time for them to get us communicated. They basically start the book spends a lot of time scene building how they gradually sort of communicate, because at first they obviously won't know anything about each other, so they do things like they will maneuver each other to show they can copy each other. They start throwing stuff back and forth between each other to and there'll be little middle models sent across from the alien ship to try and communicate at the basic level. And the alien ship basically sends him a little model of a solar system with a mark showing the same Petrova line, so they know that's related to the astrophage. And he's able to figure out, oh, you're here for the same reason I am. And he basically has to make his own version, send back so he can communicate. And pretty quick, eventually they lock together, and he has to go and he meets the alien, and they learn to communicate, learn to talk. Eventually he builds a bit of software that allows him, because the alien sort of speaks in a sing-song language. But he builds software that can basically analyse it and then find it a word, and then it has a voice synthesizer, so basically they can communicate and talk to each other. Sure. And eventually they've learned to understand. The book is about them learning to work together, learning to communicate, and then working together to solve this problem. The film follows the same plot. The film's actually, to the book, is actually very accurate in terms of all the plot points follow along. I was quite impressed.
So it's not a Ready Player One then?
No, it is really close to the book. What they have had to do, I mean, the audiobook's nearly 17 hours long. It's a big book.
They've had to condense a fair bit.
Oh, yes. They've had to cut an awful lot out. And because this film's already 2.5 hours long as it is, if they didn't cut out most stuff they did, it'd put in 3 or 4 hours long, easily. Yeah. It's kind of at the stage where it probably could have been done as a mini-series, but it wouldn't have been as big as a mini-series. But so they had to cut a lot out. What they went for this time is they dialed back a lot more on the sciencey stuff. A lot of it is still in there, but it's more background. They dialed up they focused more on the relationship between this main character, Grace, and this alien who he nicknames Rocky. He can't pronounce his name in his own language because he can't replicate the noise that makes, so he calls him Rocky. And it's more about the relationship between them two, how they discover stuff and so forth. But so the overall plot points are all there, but it's just really rapid. Some bits get very brushed over. There's whole conversations that happen in the book which just don't happen. Whole chapters are just missing, and there's also a lot of background they've had to cut out and simplify down for the film. In a way, and although I would love to have seen it all in there, I totally understand why, because you would not fit. It was so much is in there already. I totally get why they couldn't fit it in. And they.
Sure, that and the idea that film is very much show, don't tell.
Yeah.
But in a book, it's all there, mate. There is no runtime limit on a book.
Exactly. And I think the other thing they were concerned about is they could have done it where he spends a lot of time explaining things to a camera, but at that point you've just made The Martian again. And The Martian is also a really good film. It's one of my favourite films, but that works because he's all by himself. Yes, he's got some character he can bounce off, but it's more looking at their relationship stuff, and it's really nicely done. I mean, the ship looks great, the sort of effects look great. I do sort of get a lot of stuff they've removed out. It does feel like it's still a really good film. I also feel there's a part of it is, if it was too sciencey heavy, I think that might put some people off. People are going to see this sort of, but I also thought they didn't dumb down Rocky too much. I was worried they might make him a bit of a comedy sidekick. His personality is a little bit more lighthearted than the books, but he's still this amazing engineer who does a lot of the work and stuff to progress him.
Well, I mean, you'd hope so, considering they've both ended up at the same point in space.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You're not going to send your class clown to.
No, exactly. It's interesting though because he comes from originally and a place called Irid, and originally thought he's a star, although at the time the book was written, they thought there was a planet there. They've now discovered there isn't a planet there. So unfortunately, science marched on from the book, but they kept it for the film. They put some interesting blanks in their knowledge, the Iridians' knowledge. They didn't really have a space program before Astrophage because they didn't really need it, because their race is blind. They can't see anything, because the world they come from is really dark, so they never evolved eyes. But they see through echolocation. So all their stuff, all their materials, any sort of thing they interact with has to have texture to it so they can see it. Because at one point in the book and in the film, Grace is trying to show measurements to Rocky, measuring systems, and he gets a tape measure out and he puts it in, and Rocky's built like an airlock, and he sends it across, and Rocky gets out and he does the typical genuine, what all people do when they get a tape measure, is to pull it out and let it go back in and spring back in. And Rocky then spends quite a bit of time playing with it. The reason he's playing with it is he can't see the numbers on it because he's blind.
Well, yeah, because to him there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's a fun toy. It's a fun toy. They also have two. Grace works this out, and he ends up getting a clock, and he ends up having to sort of modify the clock so Rocky can actually see the numbers on it, and he can like sort of say, "Hey," and he basically uses the clock to explain time. Again, it's sort of brushed over in the film. In the book, he does a lot more. There's a lot more build-up of how they build the communication up and bit by bit, so they can start to communicate and can share knowledge. The film that's obviously a bit rushed through, but again, time they had to. But this lovely little relationship between the two, it's deeply comedy music. So Quark's a bit more amusing in this one. He clearly he develops a very caring attitude to Grace, which is very similar to the books. It's got a lot of sort of humour in it, but not sort of too what I call Marvel humour, which is both quick snap backs and that sort of thing. It's not got any of that sort of, which I find a bit irritating after a while. It's a lot more. It's got the odd bit here and there, and it's a silly little bits in it, but that's fine because the book had those bits in as well. Like there's Rocky is an alien with 5 arms, so he can walk. And they're both feet and hands. They can sort of like use them as both.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a bit where Grace is outside in the ship and he's trying to repair it, and he's like struggling because he's got like a tool in one hand and some bits and some parts in the other hand. He needs to get like a panel off, and he's sort of explaining his problems to Rocky. Rocky goes, "Well, use a hand to hold one of the bits," and Grace goes, "I can't. I've got the hammer in it." And he goes, "Well, use your other hand to hold the other bits." He goes, "No, I've got other bits now." He goes, "Well, use your third O."
yeah, sure.
To explain it. So I love the character, and I think they've nailed the relationship between the two. It's such a key part of the book because the book really is almost like a buddy film. And between the two characters, they develop this stuff. It's got a serious bits in, but a lot of it is just their relationship, and they focus on that for the film. They've nailed it, in my opinion. I want to go see it again, Scaz. I've only watched it last time.
Okay.
I want to go see it again.
He's going to see it more than once. He's got merch. He's got the books. He'll probably buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, probably will actually. To be fair, I hope they do.
He won't watch the Blu-ray.
I hope I kind of hope they do an extended version, like they did the Marsh, because the Marsh has got like an extended version, which adds a lot of bits
how
in.
much more are you thinking they're going to add in?
Only like another 2 or 3 hours they could add back in would be great. No,
well, there you go.
The reason I think they might is because, so in the book, at the start of the book, he starts with him waking up in the spaceship, and there's a computer there, and the computer asks him, "What is 2 + 2?" And he can't. And at first, he doesn't really answer because he's recovering from the coma. And the computer keeps saying incorrect, and it keeps asking the question again and again and again. And as he starts to come to, he realizes the point of the question is to see how mentally awake he is. And if he can't answer a simple question, probably not good because he can't like open a hatch up because it's probably good not to let him into the rest of the ship if he can't answer a basic question.
Yeah, sure.
Likewise, then asks him after he gets that right. He then asks him what's his name. And in the book, he took some ages to work out what his name is. And he's stuck, like, there's a hatch here, I can't open it. The computer won't let me in. I don't know what my name is. And basically, the book is told through, like, a series of flashbacks. And these flashbacks are of him recovering his memory, because it's all told from Grace's point of view. So all his flashbacks are from his point of view, which is him recovering his memories. And as the book goes on, he tends to remember something that then becomes important or relevant for the next bit. And that's how gradually builds the story up. There's a lot of well-built in the book explaining how like they designed the ship, why they designed things a certain way, why they use combs. Lots of like, there's a lot of questions. You'll go, why have they done this? Why this? And it gets later explained. It's thought about nearly everything. To be fair, in the film, he basically has a question, but he can just access the whole ship straight away. It doesn't come up anymore from the initial moment. But in the trailer, he does state something like, "I am Brian Grace," and he basically actually doesn't know where he is.
Sure. So you're saying there's probably a lot on the cutting room floor.
Yes, I think they might have filmed that bit and they've just edited it out in the final cut. So I do hope they do an extended version.
Sure.
But honestly, I love the film. I absolutely loved it. I'm just so thrilled by it. I have so much fun with it, and I said the bits they cut out, I don't think there's anything that I think I wish they'd put that in there. I wish there was more science in it. I do worry that there's a lot of science content will be brushed over. One of the things that they say is that they point out that the Tau Ceti is about 12 light years away from Earth, or 11.9. But when he's in the ship says, "Oh, the journey will take 4 years." Sorry, 12 years, like 12 light years away from Earth, and the computer says it'll take 4 years. Now, if you didn't know the science and you hadn't read the book, you wouldn't necessarily realise the reason it's taking him 4 years is because he's being accelerated up to near the speed of light, so time dilation kicks in. So from his point of view, it's 4 years. Everybody else's is not. So that's something that they dropped out of the book, so they just have to know the answer to that. And that's what I think that's where you may potentially miss people. And I do wonder if that could be a problem with some people. But so far, I've known a few people who've watched it who've not read the books, and they've all really enjoyed it. So I'm quite glad, because that was my says, is this one that's going to be like, if you've not read the story, you're going to enjoy it as much? But
no, but as we established with many other films, 9 times out of 10, the people who really enjoy the films haven't read the books, and people who are usually a bit kind of meh about the film are people who have read books, based on what the film is based on.
Yeah,
it's just nice to hear that you've read the book, now watched the film, and said, actually, you know what, I'd give that a pass.
Yeah, I definitely give it a pass. Like I say, it would be nice to have more science in it, but to be fair, they've kept a lot of it is there, but in the background. A lot of it's there's these little things they use called the Beatles, which are these little ships that he will send all his data back to Earth in, because this is a one-way trip for him. They haven't got enough fuel for him to get back, so it's a one-way trip to go there. So to get the information back to Earth, they have these little things, little like mini ships called Beatles, because they can travel a lot faster than him, because they don't have to worry about acceleration for him, because he can accelerate 1.5. They accelerate ship at 1.5 G. These don't have to worry about that. They can go a lot faster, so they can get back to Earth sooner. So in the film they also discuss him, and he finds him in the film. You literally see a background image of one, like at the planning source station, which says Beatles, which is what they're called. The main reason they're called Beatles is the guy who developed them in the book is a fan of the Beatles, and they're all called. There's 4 of them. They're named after the Beatles. Ringo, George. They're named after them. And the film, you see the names as they get launched out. With no real explanation as to why they're called that, but it's in the background. If you watch, I think it's something. If you watch it again, you go, "Oh, they're called Beatles. That's why they were named that." Obviously, I had the hand I was watching it through as well. Know all that in advance. And there's a lot of stuff they miss out. So, example is they have to make astrophage at a massive scale because they need to make so many millions of tons of it to basically fill the ship. They need to make it a huge scale. In the book, they find a guy who's got access to sort of develop some technology and expertise in like solar panels, and he basically builds like these solar farms. But to do it, they have to cover a square kilometre of the Sahara Desert, because this is an all-nothing thing. They are going to die if they don't solve the problem. So they just have every resource thrown at this to solve this problem.
Yeah, sure.
And he can breed it. Another thing they cut out from the film is they realise that it's going to take, even at they've got about 30 years for life gets too uninhabitable on the Earth, but it's going to take 12 odd years for the ship to get there, or actually slightly more than that because it's not quite light speed. And also it's got to do stuff, and it's got to get back. So they realise they're really cutting time. So what they need to do is slow down the cooling effect from the sun dimming. So they have to deliberately nuke parts of the Arctic to release a load of carbon dioxide into the air to basically cause global warming and make it a lot worse, just to sort of stave off, because they thought we can fix this bit later on, but we need to survive in the immediate. So we actually need to make climate change worse. See, Donald Trump be a king in this universe, because that's exactly.
I was going to say there's a lot of Americans right now that be going, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, and also one of the I think key things is in the film, it's not explained to the very end why he had to go, because in all the flashbacks he's not going. He's not planning to go, but obviously he finds on the ship. Now in the film they explain why he has to go, but it's like different. It's like cut down version of the book. In the book version, the reason he has to go is they need to be put into comas for multiple years, and they go to scientists who do research into comas. They find that they've done like long-term research, and not everybody can do it. And after doing certain studies, they discover that people have a certain gene that allows them to survive long-term comas. So that narrows the pool down of volunteers who can go on this mission, because they've got to survive 4 years. And by luck, Grace happens to have the gene. So in the book, the reason he has to go is there's an accident involving injury astronauts, and so he has to go. There's a bit more into it than that, and it has a bit more darkness end to it. But they kept that bit in, which I'm quite glad. And yeah, I was really impressed. They've with the constraints they had, they did a stand-up job, in my opinion, of keeping to the books. Would nice to see more science? Yes, absolutely. I'd like to see it more, that sort of stuff in it. But I'm still pleased with the end result. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and as you say, I can't wait to. I might well go see it again. I might go see it over Easter.
Yeah. I didn't do Timberborn again. I've spent my time at the View.
Yeah, I've been watching I've watched Project Hail Mary 62 times over Easter.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. So I've been sleeping at the View.
They've given me a special seat now because I've paid for all the seats. So it was lovely to see. I mean, it's been years since I've been to the cinema. And it's packed out.
I was going to say, you haven't spoken about a film in a while. But how many people were there? Were there many people at View and Odeon?
The View,
I don't know
about the Odeon, I didn't ask. The View, I would say, was almost a full house, I'd say.
All right.
Bear in mind, though, this was Sunday. The film had come out on Thursday, so it's only 3 days later. So it's still going to be its opening weekend. But still, I was quite pleased. It's one of those things you think, how many people are actually going to go watch this? But apparently a lot of people did, and there seemed to be a lot of people, and everybody seemed to be enjoying it. So I was like, oh, I'm glad.
Oh, so glad. Bless.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'll have my space helmet. I'm going to get my Lego and my t-shirts.
My God. He's a super fan. Man, I don't think you've gone like this hardcore on something since like Hunt Showdown. Maybe Cyberpunk?
Yeah, probably. Probably will be Hunt Showdown. Yeah. Because I've got some Cyberpunk merch here and there.
See, that's how rare it is.
Yeah, I have to really like something. I have to really sort of like get into something. But it's very random what things suddenly just trip for me. So
I have noticed just a bit. I mean, are you still going to get your little Timberborn guy?
Oh yeah. I'm ordering him tomorrow when I get paid. I'm getting my Iron Chief plushie. Don't you worry. I'm having him.
Wow.
Payday tomorrow.
The question is he going to arrive before?
They don't ship till June.
Will he arrive before you actually get to play the game because you'll be going backwards and forwards to watch the film?
No, he doesn't ship till June, so I think there's a good chance he'll arrive later after that. And I don't know where it's been made. It's on Makeship. I don't know if they're just based in the States or where they're based. I'm assuming the States. So I'll probably have to pay like 1,000 import tariff on them. They'll, knowing my luck, Donald Trump will go, we're gonna put tariffs on plushies.
That again wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. America.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So have you not played a game then? Is there not a game based on the film based on the book?
No, there isn't. I have, although there's rumours there might be a sequel potentially in the works. Andy Weir in an interview said, "Oh yeah, there might be a because when he gets to the destination, there's meant to be 3 astronauts on board, a pilot, an engineer, and a scientist. Ryland Grace is the scientist. When he gets there, the pilot and engineer are both dead.
Yeah,
they've died en route." And it's never totally explained in the book. There's like a throwaway line where they say this coma thing, although it means people can survive it, it's still a massive risk.
Yeah.
Putting someone to a coma for 4 years, pretty big risk. And they've got
imagine how fucked they'd be if all 3 of them carked it.
Well, they have to have, it's desperate. It's what's called Project Hail Mary. And they have to have, they've also got all the robotics, so they have robots to look after them, to look at and maintain them for those 4 years if they break down. And he basically just in the book is sort of brushed away like it was just a really risky thing and it's just bad luck. But then there's an interview with Andy Weir where he said they were answering like questions. One of them was what killed the astronauts en route? What was the actual cause of death? And Andy Weir said he does know what caused them because he's the author, but he's keeping it quiet because he may use in a possible sequel.
Right.
So, oh, okay. It'll be interesting to see what that is. But yeah, can't make it. But I have briefly played a game, but not a lot of it. But it's a very small game anyway, so I can talk about it. I played a game called Tin Can. I was playing it yesterday. I was looking through a sort of list of games. Well, that looks interesting. And the idea is you are basically in a little escape shuttle that the game starts with you on board a ship and it all goes to hit and you have to run to the escape shuttle. But the shuttle's got a lot of broken systems that you have to maintain, and they're like really detailed systems. So in your little shuttle you have like an auction system, and if you pull it open there'll be like fuses and power transformers and data cables and battery backups and oxygen cylinders, and you have to basically repair these with spare parts to keep it going. This is the idea, and you have to like swap bits out when they break, and and they're all like interconnected. So like if a data cable breaks, you may get weird readings on the front monitor. There's a CRT monitor as well. You may get weird readings on it if the data cable breaks. If a power failure happens and it won't run as properly. If there's a issue with the transformer, then you'll get problems with it as well. There's like warning lights on it. It's that sort of thing. It's quite neat. It's quite simple. Quite straight little.
Yeah.
When playing that, it's one of those games where it's like, okay, you survive for 6 minutes. Then I think it's 6 minutes, 10 minutes. 15, 20, 25, and top levels, you've got to survive for 30 minutes. And that's when the ship will come rescue you. So you've got to survive by maintaining your system stuff. And it's got like random events can happen, like you can hit an asteroid storm or things will break, so forth. I've been playing that. I've only briefly played it for a few minutes, so I've not really got in depth in it, but it's quite neat. It's a very interactive sort of one where you can like every sort of part's quite thing. And one thing I want to try with it, but I didn't get a chance to yesterday, is its VR mode as well.
Oh.
So I want to recalibrate my VR. I need to get some new batteries because my charge batteries are knackered. And just get the VR set reset up. I want to try it in VR because I think that'd be quite cool. Because it's designed to be like a standing type area, and there's bits where you like put yourself around the ship in 0G. So I think that'd be quite cool to give it a go in VR. So I might pick up that one again. That's just the thing I've briefly put on this. I can't really talk much about it because I've only really played it a little bit and make it back to it. We could talk about R.E.P.O, which we played.
Yeah, sure, if you want to. Wait, no, I thought we already spoke about R.E.P.O, didn't we?
Have we? I think we talked we were going to play R.E.P.O, but I don't think we talked about how the game worked.
Mate, yeah, go for it.
Well, do you want to explain if you played it as well?
I've got no idea what. I thought we'd already spoken about it.
Oh.
I don't know. What is it? The idea is that we are debt collectors.
I think that's the idea. Yes.
You play as a set of like little robot debt collectors, and effectively the tax man's like, "Hey, yo, these motherfuckers haven't paid their bills. I'm going to send you to their house, and I want you to repossess as much stuff as you can to equate to the value of whatever they owe, and you can get more." It's weird though because the money that you get, you keep.
Yeah,
which you can then buy to go on to other missions. So you and your mates play these little robots, and it's a roguelike.
Yes.
I'd
say it's roguelike because you don't keep anything between runs at all.
Not between. No, suppose not. No. So first mission isn't that you just get dropped off. Your little robots get dropped off into a really simple place. You might have like one bad enemy, really low amount of money that you've got to get, and you just run around. Are they procedurally generated or?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
I was going to say because I never really caught that. A bunch of different locations. You go in, you pick up gear. You can either manually carry it to a extraction point, I suppose, or you can put it into a trolley, and that allows you to move faster with heavier objects. Put them in the trolley, take them to the extraction point.
I also think the trolley protects them so they can't easily get damaged in the trolley. They seem to be like almost padded.
So yeah, the trolley is padded, but there are enemies on the map, tons of different types. Ram, you know way more about the enemy types than I do, but they can attack you and the objects that you're trying to pick up. Also, some items, usually the more money it's worth, the more fragile it is. So you could accidentally kind of bosh it into a wall and it'll lose like half of its value, kind of thing.
Yeah.
you can put it in the little trolley, take it to the extraction point, and then whatever value is left on it gets deducted from the amount this person owes, which is money that you transfer over to the next level. But the enemies can and will attack you and the cart to reduce the value to make it so you can't finish a level.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so that's right. Some levels have multiple extraction points on them. So once you complete one, so I kind of think the idea is sort of post-apocalyptic type world because there doesn't appear to be habited. So part of me thinks maybe like AI's gone mad, like it was repossessing things, but now it's like, yes, I repossess this small can of drink. That'll do. That'll be worth some money. And it's
because like some of the objects that you pick up are really weird.
Yeah, and some are like almost booby trapped. So like, there's one where it looks like an egg. We picked it up and then we because the game works like you actually have to click and hold with your like mouse controller, so you actually have to constantly hold it the whole time when you hold it when you're moving it, and it's like held like a tractor beam, and you can also like move it in and out from your position and sort of plop it into things and so forth. But yeah, there's like this egg, and we dropped it because some things are heavy and you can't carry by yourself. You'll need to get multiple people to help.
Yeah.
And there was like this egg that me and Zay were trying to lift up. We both dropped it, it smashed, and then this weird thing came outside, cry, and it exploded. There's just like a music box where if you pick up the music box, it starts playing, and then your character starts rotating around it. So you have.
Oh, that one was cool. Yeah. Like with the little ballerina kind of thing. Yeah. And you started kind of spinning on the spot.
Yeah, there's that baby's head as well. That if you disturb it,
the doll's head. Yeah,
the doll's head that cries, and a lot of things just explode. The enemy types are quite varied. Well, there's like some are like quite benign. There's like a random like duck that kept coming up to me and kept cracking at me, making noise, and I actually touched it and it went ballistic at me and mullered me immediately. This is a game where you will die an awful lot and you will get killed, and you will get killed very easily. But then your mates have to try and sort of survive, but you can sort of hide and sneak, although some enemies can figure out how to get it, and you can fight back. So you can, between each level, you go to like a shop and you can buy like anything from things that, you know, melee weapons, grenades, energy crystals, which will charge like some of your weapons, guns,
health recovery items, boosts.
Stat boosts, yes, yeah, stat boots, all sorts of shit between levels. The idea is you just keep going, you gradually build up more monies between each level, and hopefully you'll get further and further along as time goes on. You'll gradually get through levels, but at some point you will fail. It's inevitable you will fail. It's possible as well on some of the levels. There you can, if you're not careful, you can destroy enough items that you won't be able to get enough money to actually extract. You can't leave like short. You have to cover at least enough money that's required. So if it needs like 30 grand total, you need to recover 30 grand. Oh, you just sneezed, Angel. What are you doing? Oh no! Have you? Oh, stop. How did you achieve that? My dog just managed to snare itself in my headset. Yeah, but it's quite. I think my favourite bit of it. You can't talk, Angel. Sorry. Shush. My favourite bit of the whole game, though, is when at the very end, when you. What are you doing? Let me give you a sausage. See if that'll quieten you down. Hang on a second.
I'm glad I'm not the only one with this problem tonight.
We've been disturbed by dogs tonight, Skaz. Lots of dog disturbances.
They're like, mate, what about us? Why don't we have a podcast?
Yeah.
Because people would actually listen to you guys.
Okay. Sausage. That's it, take it. Off you go. Enjoy your sausage. Right. But my favourite bit of this game is when you do inevitably die, at the very end, you're in like this little building and you get dropped to like this arena which is filled with like random bits and pieces, and you would then have to fight to the death with all your friends, and whoever wins gets a crown that says King of the Losers.
Love it. And
that crown carries through into your next run, so that your person who won last time will get to spend the next run with a crown on their head.
It's beautiful. Oh, speaking of, because like, so when you die, you effectively just become a wee head, don't you? Like your body breaks, your body blows up, and you can. So once you're dead, you're not necessarily outs.
You're basically disabled, yeah.
You monitor someone else in spectator mode, but you can also kind of activate your character's head for a limited time. You've got a limited battery supply, and you can use that to catch a quick glimpse of the map. I don't know how communication is supposed to work in that game. I suppose like typing, and when you type, like when you die, you can't type anymore. But because we were on Discord, if someone died, they could sometimes kind of like activate their head and go, "Oh yeah, such and such is in this room. Like, watch out! They're now coming back through where you are." Kind of thing. As long as you kept communication up, you could kind of hint to each other where the enemies were, even after you were dead. Or there were cases where we'd pick up the head of someone that had fallen, throw them into the room, and then tell them to turn the head on so that they could see where the
Can you have a look for me? Is it clear? Oh, good. Yeah. You can revive as well. The way to revive is you have to basically get to an extraction point, which hasn't been extracted yet, and then once that extraction point's full, when it comes and collects all like the money, it will revive you with 1 health. But to be honest, for most of the time, 1 health or 100 health makes no difference.
No, because you get shredded really quickly in that game.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, if you are took back, if all the extraction points are gone, and then you're took back to the the truck thing, you'll get revived there as well. So there are ways to be revived, but it's one of the cases where it's more a case of you're going to keep going until you do actually die. It's not getting you actually complete. You just have a good run or a bad one. There's no like, because it's like 4 levels. You've got like old like Hamley Mansion called the Headman Mansion, I think it's called. There's like a Arctic Reset Station. There's like a Museum of Human Art, and there's like a Wizard School. It's a bit of a random collection of things. There's loads of pictures of Skaz in the Wizard School.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
And I found it really neat. We've got some episodes coming up. I've got a few edited. They'll be going onto the channel shortly, so you can enjoy those. Although by the time you listen to audio, you probably should be on there already. And I personally really enjoyed it. I think it did a quite good mix of. It felt like sort of like almost like a Phasmophobia or Forewarned type thing, but you have more opportunity to fight back, and there's more of an objective what you're doing. It sort of felt like that. It also made me think of that when we played Reverse the Content Warning. It made me think of that as well, playing it.
So I will also say, actually, much like those, like Forewarned and all that, the enemies are interesting in that they have their own kind of Pac-Man-esque AI. By that I mean, so for example, in Pac-Man, and we're going way back now, the ghosts have different patterns that they run on. And so if they were to run up and you see one of the ghosts look up before they come to a cross section, that means they're about to turn up. Some ghosts, if you charge at them, they'll move out of the way. They have their own kind of way of moving around the map. Yeah, in this game, in R.E.P.O, much the same kind of thing. So like you've got an old boy who he can't see you.
No.
But if you make noise, he will pull out his shotgun. And there are some enemies that will follow you, which will aggro the bloke with the shotgun. The little girl with the balloons, she just kind of just patters about, blowing up balloons, and she'll leave you alone unless you pop one of her balloons.
Yeah, the enemy design is quite inventive.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed the fact that you can sort of learn strategies to avoid them and get around them, which I quite like.
I still don't quite understand how half of them work. When you were spooling stuff off on the last stream, I was like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
There's one thing that I wish we tried, and I wish we had tried it because I thought about it afterwards, and I don't know if it would have worked or not, but I would like to have tried it. Do you remember when... I think the one that was from our station, we saw walk through, and there's like this eye in the ceiling that locked on, and you couldn't look away, and then you died.
Yeah.
One of the like expressions you can do is to close your eyes. Oh. It's to close your eyes. So I wondered if you'd done that expression. Right, Angel, stop barking at me. You've had your doggy crack tonight. You don't need any more. Okay.
She's like, I do.
Yeah. I do want that expression. If you've done I'll have to do retakes here. Stop. Okay, stop. I do want if you change expressions to the eyes, if that would stop that attacking you.
You know what? We might have to do one more, like a return or repo with a vengeance, just so we can.
Perhaps a return. Perhaps a return for 24 hours.
Yeah, why not? See if we can get it going. I think we should play a few of those because Divine and I have played Peak. And that's a recommended kind of group. The same kind of thing, but like a group of you get kind of stranded on a desert island and you have to climb up to the top of a mountain. We've picked up RV there yet.
Yes, that's our next game.
Obviously, R.E.P.O and that as well. There's loads and loads and loads of little games like that I think we should probably kind of slap into the 24 hours.
Agreed.
Because they're just right for it.
Yeah, they are. They are for sort of comedy fans. Something you don't need to think too hard about as well.
Yeah.
Although R.E.P.O can get a bit like, okay, we need to really concentrate on this one. But it was fun. I really enjoyed R.E.P.O.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you, Steam Family Share.
Yes. Right then. Well, I think, unless you've got anything else for yourself, Skaz?
Nah, that's everything, Governor.
No, we're all done then. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. You can join us on our next podcast, which will be on, he says... Again, you've ruined the audio, Gage.
On Woof, mate.
On Woof. Oh. Well, you done? You done?
No.
No. Which will be on... So you can join us on our next podcast, which will be on April the 9th at GMT 18:30 GMT +1. Because the clock's so forward on Sunday. More light in the evenings.
Yay.
Yay. So our next games night, I think we've got booked in for the 12th, I believe.
I have no idea, mate.
I'll have to check. We'll confirm. It's definitely not on the 5th, so I'll confirm for our next podcast which one it is. You can join us on next games when that comes up. So yeah, great times. So look forward to seeing you guys there. So for me, the Suffolk Graham.
Skazzius.
Have a good evening, guys.
Take it easy.